Hello and welcome to another conversation inside 33 Conversations. I am your host, Michael Abney, and today I am joined by Alexandra Alden, and she's the founder of the Coherent Business Coven, and it's evolving into some other things. Well, I'll let you share and your wonderful jungle background that you got going on. That's real.
Yeah, no, I often see people on Zooms with like the fake background, and that's like my actual background.
Mine's real too. So
yeah.
so we got all the plants going on. I love plants. It's like I love nature and like surrounding myself. It just helps me keep my nervous system down, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. You like when we talked. It's so fascinating your take on femininity, power, and our bodies, and not having the businesses that we create in life not be outside of ourselves. Like we actually get to be a part of it too. So that's what really stoked me about having this conversation. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and share with me and our audience more about what you're in the middle of evolving.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you for having me. This is, when we talked before, it felt like really aligned. Yeah, I mean, everything is always in evolution, which I think is the principle of, when I say feminine business, it's like also equating the feminine with also like natural intelligence, because I think, women, because they are creators of life, have always held this like deeper relationship to the earth. That's not to say the masculine doesn't have that. It does have that. But, one of the things that I'm seeing in business is that, it's not about choosing a brand identity and sticking with it, C or C, yes or yes, as they say in Spanish. It's about allowing the evolution of things and trusting that as long as you're expressing from authentic energy, like you're centered in your own energy, people are going to be able to follow it, because, when you do meditation, right, there's lots of things that change. Our thoughts, our emotions, the way we dress, the people we hang out with, our relationships, the way we are offering things to the world, but there's something that doesn't change within all of us. And so the more that like we tune into that, then your cohesive brand identity is already there, But I think a lot of us have become disconnected from that in pursuit of the like, what should I be? So anyways, all that to say, for me, I'm really in a deep process of allowing the evolution. And so since we last spoke, I'm still doing what I was doing before, but it's also evolving. And I went through this like beautiful portal for the new year, starting around the solstice. And, I'm also a DJ. I do ecstatic dance DJing and other types of DJing. And I was just out there living my best life for like 2.5 weeks. And I was out there in the world, and I was DJing and meeting tons of people and working on a festival and just all these things that a previous, more reductionist version of me would have been like, well, that doesn't fit anymore with this business coaching stuff, and I would have like thrown it away. But now what I'm seeing is like, no, it's exactly the same thing, because previously, and this is what I want to help women and people with, but like, I feel women, we have some added hurdles because of the past, but I grew up being told you can't make money from your art. And so my whole life, I've kind of pushed it away and been like, no, that's just like a hobby, even though my soul feels so alive and so joyful when I do it. And I've been doing that with DJing for the past like 3 years. People, there's opportunities that keep coming, and I've been kind of like, that's not really. And to be able to make money from art has to be seen from a business lens. And so the big shift for me is like, I'm going to go for it with my DJing and my music, but it's part of a larger ecosystem. It's actually like, to use more traditional business language, it's the marketing channel that I have the most joy in doing, right? So when I'm there, I'm in the right energetic frequency. Like I am stoked on my life, and people are magnetized. And then through that, I'm bringing people deeper and deeper into a larger system that's also helping them get unstuck, helping them build businesses that can help them actually be able to make money from their creativity and not have to have it be something you do at like 10 o'clock at night after you've done everything else and you're totally zonked, because that's not how creativity flows. So yeah, it's just kind of shifted to lead with like, I don't want to sit on my computer all the time and send messages to people. I want to be out in the world. That's what brings me joy. And I can. So it's like removing the horse blinders.
That's because, we met each other through LinkedIn. That's where business people meet now. And I love it. But at the same time, it birthed a passion in me that I want to connect back physically to the community that I am in, because I become disconnected via all the shit we've been going through and continue to go through. And that's sparking that same thing. So the one passion really birthed another one inside of me that popped out into ask. People were starting to ask me to do things in the community, and I'm doing one next week. And so that whole experience, and I totally relate to the pop out from like Christmas, like the 21st, into the new year. That's the year of the snake. People are saying I'm not too much into that stuff, but I was, since I am born in the year of the horse in 66, this is my 60th year. So this is the second cycle of it. So this is the fire horse one. And I really do feel that energy of like, I'm starting all over again, and it's okay. And the fears and even in the midst of everything that we've got going on and witnessing, and not gonna lie, yesterday, well, we all experienced it was a hello. But this morning, I'm part of this ritual where I meditate with thousands of people every day and every morning. And today there was just a ton of people, and I felt everybody, and it was like, no, thank you. I'm not looking at that. I'm continuing and having these, because these are the things that light me up, is having these conversations and getting to share them with other people. That's where it's at. So that I felt it in my body, and I know that you have that experience too, where the women that you work with, they have that sonomic experience where it's connected. And the businesses that I had before, the hair salon one, totally connected because I'm touching people. Real estate, not so much. So, but what I do now, it has all of that mixed together. So what do you, the feedback or you see or experience from women that come to you that may be in that old paradigm or that have remnants of that old thinking? How do you see and switch that into or open this door to this conversation for them?
Well, I think, the thing that I hear the most is like women struggling with the fragmentation of identity, right? And again, it's not just women, but definitely women. And they're trying to boil themselves down into something that's like digestible in the market. And, that's what branding has been for the past 50 years, right? It's like tell a story that's palpable to the people. But I think what we're understanding now is it's less about this. It's really about the emotional resonance, which comes to the coherence, and it depends on who you're trying to reach, right? Like if you're trying to reach people that are completely detached from their resonance, you can reach them through fear. You can reach them through, identities and who they can become. The people that I work with, I've learned some of the traditional sales tactics. And when I come in telling them they're going to get these slap, dang, bang, huge results, they're like, that's not how I think, So it's kind of, again, this is coming back to the feminine, how nature works. Nature doesn't work in huge, giant results. Nature moves slower, but what people are coming back to is the ability to be peaceful in the process. And so I think when women come to me, it's first helping them feel okay in the fragmentation. See what is causing the fragmentation. I worked with someone recently who is an intuitive healer, but also a designer. And she is psychic. And when she was a kid, that was not something she could share with the world. So there was like a deep wound around that. And now she's in this place where she's trying to marry these worlds. And like, we're all meant to marry the worlds. Like, I've seen this across people. It's like, that's how I ended up here, right? Like, I used to work doing, like, supporting entrepreneurs and building accelerators and incubators for social impact. And I rejected that when I started my spiritual journey. I was like, no, I don't do that anymore. And it's come back, but it comes back in a new way that's like more embodied, more grounded. So, and I've seen this happen with countless people around me. So it's like she's coming back to this world of these gifts that she has as far as design that comes from the more like typical world, but she's also has these other gifts. And to be able to embrace those, the person has to recognize that there's a wound there. There's like a rejection wound. And so it's really kind of starting there to be like, okay, like, where are you resisting yourself? And once we start like breaking that down, then the integration can happen.
What does coherence mean for you? Like, how does it live for you? I know it's a big part of what you're doing, but like, I sense that it's deeper than a word for you.
Yeah, have you ever heard the phrase "as above, so below"? Yeah. So
the Emerald Tablet.
The idea is to be like, you have to be in coherence from inside out, and that means like I'm in coherence in myself, I'm in coherence in my relationships, and I'm in coherence with the whole. So again, it's like starting there, like, do I have the practices to keep my nervous system? And regulation isn't the key. Like, we can be dysregulated. We can move all around. Like, we're humans. That's fine. Do I have the practices to be able to hold the embodied capacity of being of service? And this is another thing I see with women all the time, because it's something we were trained in, is the overgiving. So it's like,
there's a difference between service and servant.
Yeah, exactly. And this is part of the reason I originally left the social change industry, and I'll call it industry because that's what it is, you know. But what I realized, I had this really deep realization that it's like, oh, the wounded healer archetype is so strong, and this is just a trauma dream of people who haven't done the work at home, you know, inside their bodies. And so everything that we're creating is coming from that place. So the first part of being in coherence is getting yourself in coherence, which is different than perfection, right? Like, I have my own process with this because, like, you know, I love good design. I love beautiful things. And I make a mess in my house pretty routinely and then have to, like, fix it, you know? And I was leading a session, and I showed them. I was like, look, my kitchen is a mess right now. But that's part of coherence, is being real. You know, not rejecting the parts of yourself that are still messy. So it's not trying to get to this like, oh, I must be this perfect meditated, you know, like my house is always clean, everything is always perfect. No, it's like owning the mess. And I think it's so empowering, like when you want to be of service, to let other people see that you're not perfect, because when you project perfection out into the market, people think that they have to get there, and it messes them up. So let's all stop doing that. Yeah, like I don't wear makeup.
I'm doing it. I'm learning it like on a whole new level too, of that I think that people just, you know, when you think you know something and you automatically think everybody should already know that too. Maybe it's just me or my generation. That's just how it was. You know, I was always like, the way I was raised is like, I told you once and that's all I'm going to tell you. And like, you make up that other people are like that too, and they're not. And understanding that, getting that feedback loop is awesome. But when you're like, I work from home, it's so easy to get isolated and get in that's your norm. You lose that connective tissue that gives you that feedback that helps you through that messy part, and keeps you from tipping over into that perfectionist mode. Like, I totally relate to that. And I know women have it, but men have it too. Men have it too. We just wear it in another way sometimes. It comes off as like confidence, but it's really not. It's actually repelling to people. I found.
Exactly. It's inhibiting all of us. You know, it's like the more, and it doesn't mean you have to go like oversharing, like you're allowed to have boundaries in how you share with the world, but, you know, like, let's stop creating an image that doesn't exist for anyone, and let's just be with how it is, you know, like life. Some days are awesome, some days are scary, you know, some days I'm super confident, some days I'm super self-critical, you know, it's like every day's a different day. Just like, let's allow that to be the reality.
Allowing it to be. You said that's a key word, like that. That's a practice that I practice that all the time. Like if I start to notice myself tense up, and I really notice it in the back of my neck now that, you know, caffeine affects my body differently than it used to. I can't really do it anymore. But I'm really aware if I start any one of those older patterns, it hits me right in the back of my neck. And it's this weird sensation of pressure, like a vice grip that I know what it is now. It's like my little body alarm clock. So do women have that too? Like, or do you ever hear people say that? Because you deal with a lot where you're like integrate the things that's actually happening inside your body with what you're doing in the world, which is a new concept to me. But I now am feeling it in my own body, which is new for me. Like I never felt that before.
Yeah, and I think awesome. You know, you're coming into your body. That's the step. The body has so much wisdom, right? And it tells us what is right for us. And I think this is the thing that's really important, is like there is no blueprint. And a lot of people sell you on the idea that you can just follow this blueprint. And it's not to say there's tools that we can learn from, but everyone is different. And there's certain cycles, like women, we have the lunar cycle. So like there are energetic things that we have in common. Men also have that, but it's a 24-hour cycle. And so, you know, there's certain like ways that we might show up over the course of a month that we can start tuning into and thinking on like a collective level, like how do we want to work with that? But then we have our own energies. And like I've been doing a lot of work around like mapping my energy, and this is a tool I use in my clients as well, to be like, okay, what are you actually doing when? And instead of resisting that, which is like the 9-to-5 model, the industrial model, which was, you know, not really built for human bodies, it was built for machines. How do we start designing with it? And so it's like thinking about what type of activities are you naturally doing at what time, and how do you start like flowing more with that instead of trying to be in this like resistance. And the difference is like we actually require way more rest than the industrial model allows, because it's built for machines, you know. So like a thriving human should not be working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, like on my pod days, I really got to watch it. But because I love doing them, so I'll cram way too many on there. But I'm learning I make spaces, and if I get too much, the universe actually, somebody will move or shift or this or that. And it always ends up being around 5, which is my ideal. But you know what? My man brain hasn't put that in my calendar yet, but I'm going to do that because you just made me aware of it. Because it's trying to tell me, so I need to complete that loop. So like 5's going to be my max. But yeah,
and it's like, again, 5 and then feeling your body. Some days you're available for 5 and you're there, and like it's, you know, when we're in the right energetic state, it just like clicks, right? It's like if I'm in the right energetic state to get on Instagram and send a bunch of DMs, I do it. When I'm not, and I try to do it, you will actually see it in the results. Like you could track your conversion rate. It's like we are much more sensitive beings than we even understand. Like we're just beginning to understand the way that human energies are sensed. And like I could write the same thing to the same person on 2 different days when I have a different energetic imprint behind it, and I'm going to get a different result. So it's like the pushing through thing is not really the way. And of course, we can get stuck with conditioning and trauma and limiting beliefs, right? Like a lot of people, myself included, have to work around things about visibility, about fear of rejection, all that. And so when we start working on those, our nervous system capacity increases, right? So I could send more DMs, or I could have more direct conversations or whatever, because I've increased my nervous system capacity. But until I've done that, and some of it is like just trying it, doing it, but then also having the space for integration, having the work so I'm aware of the limiting beliefs that are coming up, and I'm actively like deciding that I'm going to push my comfort zone. Whereas like I think a lot of times in coaching, they just give you a tool and they like throw you in there, and it's like it's not sensitive to the trauma and the years of conditioning that we're trying to decondition, you know. And with women in particular, like the visibility thing, you know, in my seminars I go through and I like show the history, and it's like if you were a woman in the past because your safety was based on relationality, because you were property. You didn't have your own bank accounts. You didn't have your own property. You didn't have anything like that.
Yeah.
So if your relationships fell apart, if your husband decided you were out, whatever, your family decides you're out, you had a high chance of not surviving. And so being visible, saying what you think, getting out there and just like doing it, it feels terrifying in the body because it was like it wasn't safe to do that very recently, you know. So I'm just like, everyone, just give yourselves a break, because this is like thousands of years of real rational fear that still lives in the body.
Absolutely, 1,000%. What's your experience when the people that you're working with let go of that and actually allow that embodiment to happen and that synchronicity to start to happen? I know it's good, but like, just I sense you have a deeper take on it.
I mean, I think like, it just feels like...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, you know, when the capacity increases, it's just like you just shift into a new level, and you can't even like really identify with the previous level anymore. And I just went through that on a personal level, so I could really speak to it. It was like, wow, before the New Year's, I was still like sitting on my computer like, I have to control how this is going to happen. And then I literally like got in my car, drove to the other side of the country, DJ'd, a bunch of clients signed up, and then I just realized like I had been still trying to control everything. And it was less about how, you know, the actions are the prayer. So it's kind of like, if I can take action with zero attachment to how it's going to turn out, oftentimes what happens is it's a prayer. I'm saying to the universe, like, hey, I'm showing up for this. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm showing up. I'm putting effort in. And then people pop out from totally different avenues, you know? But I need to be in the energetic space to receive them. So it's like when I'm like really afraid of like, how is this going to work? And like really trying to make it all work according to some like fixed schema or whatever. It's not how it works. You know, most of my clients are people that have met me at one point. Some of them are like, it's people who've met me like 8 years ago, you know? And for me, that's how I'm looking to scale, which is why I'm going to go on a DJ tour this spring. Because I'm like, when I'm out in the world and enjoying myself and projecting my energy, I draw people in and I enjoy it. And I think that's another principle of feminine business that we can all learn from, is like joy is important. You know, like finding the communication channels that bring you joy. Like if you're someone who loves to do like long form writing, like you should be on Substack, you know, and that's where you should invest your time. If you're someone who loves to edit videos and like make reels, like TikTok, Instagram, but it's not like like if we really see it more as the energetic back end work that it actually is, it's like just put effort somewhere consistently, and then you will get results from it. And the more that it is aligned to who you actually are and the things that bring you joy and alignment, then the people come. Naturally. And that's the whole principle, is it's like naturally this can happen more easily. It doesn't have to be so hard. The whole hard thing is part of the like disconnection from our bodies.
Yeah. What a beautiful conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to share with us your take on that and your DJ spirit. And what is the DJ thing? Like, I love music, you know, and I love, I've been to a couple of festivals that are static dance festivals. So it's just fun to like let go and like be joy with everybody. And like, so what is that like for you when you're providing that space? Like you're literally creating
so
the space.
Fun. I mean, I was really tuning into it, and I've been calling it exorcism and ecstasy, because all this stuff that I'm talking about, these like ways we get stuck, it's like the fear gets stuck in the body, the stuckness, the conditioning, whatever. Dance is a technology that we've been using since the beginning of time, right? And what I do in my sets, you know, I call myself Electric Indigo. Electric Indigo is really how I see the world. It's like the light and the dark, the neon and the darkness, you know, it's both the joy and the sadness. And so what I really like to bring people through is just an experience where we are shaking the fear out of the body and then propelling people into higher levels of embodied capacity. And that's been my medicine since I was like in my 20s. I would, you know, very unconsciously be out there on festival dance floors. And even this portal was entirely fueled by dance for me. And it's like I moved things that needed to move. And then all of a sudden the capacity's there. The capacity's already inside of us. It's like, you know, it's like a cloud blocking the sun. The sun is never gone. It's just like we need to work through the cloud. And there's a time and a place for having the intellectual understanding of what's going on. And then there's a time and a place to just move that stuff somatically. And that's really what I've been doing with the dance. And when I go on this tour, I'm going to be offering like deeper intensives in each place for people who are ready to cross the threshold, who know that they're like ready for the next part of their lives, but they're stuck and they can't really do it. And there's going to be deeper intentionality around it. We're going to use music, but also like shadow work, altar work, integration, and then people who want to can come deeper into the ecosystem to either work on their business or work on themselves. But really, you know, having that support to keep crossing the thresholds. Like a lot of what I'm doing with women is like I'm giving them tools, but the most important thing is the coven aspect. It's like to be able to turn to people and be reminded to have the mirror, because it's like you're doing something in a totally different way. And so it's really hard when you look around to like the standard narrative. It's like hard to keep going if you're on your own. And when you're in a coven, it's like, oh, okay, there's other people that we're all reminding each other that like, hey, this is real. We can do this, you know? And like you said, with your thousands of people meditating, I really feel this is like so needed right now. And part of my tour, it's also like to bring this energy to the States right now, you know, like go places and help people connect to their joy, connect to their bodies. And it shifts things on a macro level. Like, you know, we're moving towards a tipping point. And even though there's so much darkness right now, it really depends on where you look, because there's also so much light happening. And when we keep our attention on that and go deeper into our own light and grow it and grow it and grow it, I really feel this era is going to be remembered as a deeply positive one.
Yeah, I do too. I totally agree with you. I love your perspective, and you have this balance of everything, and Are you a Libra? I just have to ask because you have a Libra energy.
I'm a Scorpio, but I have a lot of Libra in my chart.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in tropical, I guess I'm a Libra, so it's there. The energy's there for sure.
I'm a true Libra, so I resonate with all of what you're saying because you don't have any connotation of a right or a wrong. So it's like a real yin yang energy to what you're presenting, and I know that's beneficial to the world.
Thank you.
I thank you for sharing
for
this with our audience. Absolutely, I so enjoy these. These are amazing. You guys out listening today, are out walking around today, have a conversation with somebody that you've never met before, somebody from your past, or just follow your intuition and be in nature and in life and just allow it to unfold. And until next time, we'll see you on the next conversation. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.